I'm Brittany McDowell, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Our PAC Politics Podcast. If you don't know, our podcast is brought to you by our organization, our United Resource PAC. We are a tax-exempt political organization. On today's show, we are discussing the 9th batch of economic impact payments from the American Rescue Plan that have started to arrive in the accounts of Americans. Also, we have a resource to check the status of your most recent economic impact payment if you have yet to receive it. You're listening to another episode of Our PAC Politics Podcast. It's about that time for the next episode. Did your stimulus check get sent today? Well, the IRS, U.S. Department of the Treasury, and Bureau of the Fiscal Service announced that today they sent 1 million payments. These payments are the 9th batch of the economic impact payments from the American Rescue Plan. Now, it's not that they just sent them out today. They actually started processing these payments on last Friday, the 7th. But this is the actual pay date where people should get access to those funds if they have direct deposits for their economic impact payments. Now, those, if you're not aware, the Biden administration has been having these checks processed on a weekly basis. Some people have been kind of perplexed at the fact that this far out, the resource that we are still providing people is a resource to check the status of their economic impact payment. A lot of people have been under the assumption that, hey, everybody has received their third stimulus check by now. And quite frankly, that's not the case. Again, these payments are being processed on a weekly basis. So we are now on that 9th batch. For those of you who don't normally file a tax return, if you were in that boat and you have not received a stimulus check from this third batch, you need to file your 2020 tax return. Yes, I know you may not be used to it. Yes, I know you may technically not need to do it. But if you do want to receive a stimulus payment, should you qualify, even if you don't normally file a tax return, you want to get it filed so that way they can get that economic impact payment to you. Now, that's kind of a unique thing to point out, considering that this far out, this deep into the process, these people in this 9th batch probably are not going to be your people who would typically fall under the conditions of not having a requirement to file their taxes. When they did start sending out the payments, they did consider income levels. And so the further out we get, the higher income levels we are dealing with. So if you did fall into that batch of not normally needing to file a tax return and you didn't receive a stimulus payment, you might want to slap your knee and feel a little bad for a second, because if you do end up getting a stimulus payment, you could have received one a whole heck of a lot earlier. Now, again, some people have been under the impression that if they don't normally file a tax return, or if they don't receive federal benefits of any kind, that they would not qualify for a stimulus check. And that's just simply not true, right? You could obviously reach out to the IRS and, get in the queue and try and find out. But the simplest way to um, see if you qualify is to just go ahead and file that 2020 tax return if you have not yet done it. And I do encourage you to do it before the 17th, before next Monday. Last thing that I want to point out here, and I will let you go, is that just because you've received the first or second economic impact payments, if you received the first or second stimulus checks under President Trump and his administration, that does not mean that you will automatically be qualified for a third stimulus payment. It doesn't matter if you got those two previous stimulus checks or if you were able to claim the 2020 recovery rebate credit. So yes, some people are going to be qualified, but not everybody. The best way to find out is just to go ahead and file your 2020 tax return. Today's resource that I am sharing is a resource that we have mentioned and promoted several times on our podcast before. What it is an official government tool that will help you confirm if the IRS and Treasury have sent your economic impact payment, your stimulus check. But in addition to that, it will also let you know the method by which they sent it, how they sent it, if they sent a direct deposit, and if you didn't get it, maybe it went into a wrong account. And if that's the case, it will also inform you of what will happen. Maybe they mailed you a check and it's in the mail and your mail is just, who knows, right? But if I don't have that information, but this tool does, it again is an official government tool. To get access to it, if you look in the description box of this episode, you will find a link to join our mailing list. We will not spam you. Our mailing list is an awesome way to keep in contact with us. But most importantly, it's an awesome way to get access to this tool. It's great, again, for you if you have not yet received your economic impact payment, as well as other people. It might be something that you want to get access to, so that way you can share it with them. The resource also does mention the other kind of option that some people are going to have when it comes to actually getting your economic impact payment. Some people will get checks, some people will get direct deposits, some people who are eligible will end up having to utilize a tax credit. If you want more information, not just on how you'll get your payment, if you'll get it when, you also, might want to get information on this tax credit, which this tool will also provide you information on. So again, if you look in the description box below, click the link to join our email list. You'll just have to give us your name, your email address, and as soon as you sign up, we'll get you a welcome email, and then within a few seconds after that, you'll get the email with access to this resource. So you can find that in the description box below. I hope the resource is of benefit to you or someone you know. All right, so thank you for tuning in to another episode of our PAC Politics podcast. I hope you walk away from today's episode understanding if you are due an economic impact payment, that you may have received one. So check your account. You may be in that 9th batch. I also hope you walk away understanding if you have not yet received an economic impact payment and also not filed your 2020 tax return, that you may need to complete that tax return to get an economic impact payment if you are indeed entitled to one. So thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you have a fantastic day, and stay safe. COVID is real. It's not over, but We're making significant progress. Have a good day. Bye bye.